Oh, I just hit 3,000 followers, which is huge.
That's awesome. Why did you say that? That's incredible.
I know, I just hit 3,000 followers like the other day. I have so much confidence that it's gonna just keep growing and growing. When I was starting the cohort, that was what my goal was, and I think that I have the confidence that the right people will come around to my account. The people who need to hear my voice will find me, and I know that they're out there. It's just like a matter of trying to find them, and I think it's gonna happen because of the results of the cohort. So,
and it's so cool that you guys are now setting the standard for yourself of, you know what, like this is the right type of audience growth. And I know that it is because it's slow and steady. And I know that the people coming in are engaging with my content. It's just cool to hear you change your perspective about content in general. Most beginners would never say something like that.
Joining the cohort and going through everything, you realize that there's so much potential for you and that there's so much potential for your message to be out there in the world.
Thank you, Kaleb, so much for joining me in this spotlight. You were one of our standouts for the 4th iteration of our VIP coaching, and I wanted to give you the spotlight and speak through your experience. But because the audience, I want them to have a context of where you've come from and who you were before you actually joined the VIP coaching. Just talk to me in regards to before Creator College, where were you currently at as a creator? What were some of the problems that you were experiencing?
Yeah, so before Creator College, I was honestly, I was just a student, or I'm still a student now, but I was just someone who was just starting content creation, and I was doing content creation for about 2 to 3 months, and then I heard about like Creator College, and I've always been like I've always watched your content, June, for like the longest time since I think 2023. I think I was just like a freshman or sophomore. Um, but yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing before making content. I was kind of just making content about like whatever, more for entertainment, not really for a purpose. But after like going into Creator College, my friend actually, I don't know if you remember, his name is Josh. He was Josh Saavedra. He was one of the other cohort students, but he was like, "You should really do this for me." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know if I have the funds for it." And he was like, it's better to use your money for education than to use your money for other things. And for to use your money for something that you really want to do is really smart. So I was like, okay, you're right. So I then wanted to do Creator College because I saw the opportunity. And when I joined I forgot what call it was. It was one of like the bigger calls where you're talking for most of the part. And when I joined it, I was like so iffy about it. But then like by the end of it, I was like, wow, this is something that I can really like use as a resource. So that's how I ended up ended up joining Creator College. So
I absolutely love that. And I love that you had someone to speak to about the VIP coaching experience, but you're right. You're probably still going to naturally have your own hesitations about it. So what were your expectations before that onboarding call? Because I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's one of those onboarding calls that we do with the entire group, and I'm the one leading it. But before that, what were you expecting out of the VIP coaching experience from the little that you did know?
I was expecting a lot because I know that the team was made up of so many great people. Especially because I think I've watched Nellis before and I've seen Sean before as well.
Cool.
Um, but I knew that there was gonna be a lot for me, but I didn't expect it to be like you guys exceeded my expectations. I like my expectations are maybe like here, and then like the whole program itself was up here, and I was just like really shocked about it. But I guess my expectations were high, but I knew that, or eventually I figured out that it was gonna be higher than I thought. So
I love that.
yeah.
And that's music to our ears. When you were inside of the VIP coaching program, what really stood out to you? You can speak about it from, let's say, a framework standpoint, some of the technical elements of what we spoke about, or if there's anything else that comes up to your mind, what really stood out to you about the VIP coaching program?
It was actually the 7x7 framework because I use it a lot now. And like I
Nice.
think literally yesterday I was looking at my 7x7 and I was like, okay, now I kind of see the correlations of how I make videos and how I used it from the 7x7. And then I was using the 7x7 to make more videos. Actually, I
I
was
love
making a
it.
video yesterday, so that's how I used it. And no, it's like it was so true about like the evergreen evergreen. What is it called? The evergreen
Reservoir of
yeah,
inspiration. Yeah.
reservoir of inspiration. And I find it like so useful and so helpful by the way of just like looking at other creators, seeing what works. It's helped me so much like come up with ideas. Like I don't think I've had a day in the last like 3 to 4 weeks where I didn't have some kind of idea.
I love that. That makes me so
It's
happy.
been great, yeah. But yeah, that's like the biggest thing for me, I think.
Yeah, and I want to give the audience context as to what you're speaking on in regards to 7 by 7. I know a lot of our students refer to that as one of the standouts in terms of frameworks. And it's 7 creators that you like, or 7 creators that are, let's say, 100,000 plus, 250,000 plus followers. So they're successful creators on the particular platform that you want to grow on. And then it's 7 other highest performing pieces of content. But the trick here is to annotate how they're doing it from a format standpoint, from an understanding of hook and cadence and storytelling to understanding of how they're doing their call to actions. And when you can study the duration of clips and you get to the granular aspects of that, when you have 49 videos to study about, what you see are common threads. It's not necessarily finding one video and taking that format for your own content piece. It's more of across the board, you start to recognize, oh my goodness, these are successful, not just because out of pure luck, but because they play the game of social media, because they understand what's algorithmically favorable. And so that when you have that and then your own unique creator vision, which is everything about you, your content ideas that have everything to do about you as a human being, you combine the two and you have a unique piece of content that has its highest chance for success. So it's really cool when a lot of people see 7 by 7, they can no longer see content the same way because they'll be scrolling on their Explore page and immediately they look at it and they're thinking, wait, I know that looks so familiar from the cadence. That looks so familiar from the B roll or the clips that they've utilized. So I love that. Another question that I have for you is, what did you think about the community aspect of the VIP coaching? With the idea of the cohort, a lot of people hear to that and they think immediately, I love it. Or a lot of people think about it and say, I'm going to hesitate because I might not get the same attention across the board, across, let's say, a bigger creator, or let's say a bigger creator might be intimidating to me. How did you feel about the actual cohort style of teaching?
With the cohort style of teaching and the big community that we were all a part of, I thought it was actually really nice to be able to talk to other people because I realized when I first joined, I thought I was gonna be by myself because I thought I was the only student and I thought I was the only like I guess 20-year-old, 21-year-old. But then I remember it's one of the first calls, I think one of the like foundation meetings, I was like, "Is there any other, like, 21-year-olds in the chat?" And then there were so many people, and I was surprised. Um, and even, like, the other student, Damanpreet, she's, like, a sophomore in high
Yes.
school, and I'm like, "What?" Um, but yeah, no, the community is just a really good place to kinda get to know other people, get to know other creators and see their journey. And not even that, like listening to audits and hearing how other people are implementing the materials in their own framework to do content. It's like one, it's inspiring, and two, it like helps me with myself and my own content, my own journey. So
And that is exactly what we now hope out of the cohort style of teaching because we've now been on the fence of changing up the style for quite a little bit of time. But every single cohort that has ended, we do these interviews, and that is the actual sentiment that is carried through. That it was actually helpful to see different demographics of people. That you have people in your age group, but you also have people much older than you, and you have people that come from the professional environment, or let's say academia, or let's say an industry, or full-time entrepreneurs. And it's interesting how common that the problems that a creator experiences, no matter who you are, no matter where you're located, and the ability to see someone else's perspective on the same problem is actually incredibly valuable. There's a lot of times where I'm in those calls and I hear a question from you or I hear a question from someone else. And it's so fascinating to me because I'm thinking, wait, I'm also experiencing something similar as a creator myself. And when I talk to you guys, there's a level of therapeutic element to that where it's creators that are actually coming together with their most intimate problems and saying, okay, this is how I feel about my current existing content. I'm struggling here, but I'm also having success here. And then someone else comes up and they're like, wait, I'm having success where you're struggling in, but also struggling where you had success in. And the ability to actually collaborate on that experience is really, really cool. When you also think about, let's say, your current achievements that you've been able to put together. You came in as a full on, let's say, emerging creator, someone that was in the beginning stages. You actually had an ability naturally to do the storytelling content, which was fantastic, by the way. But when you came into Creator College and you did the VIP coaching, name me some of the achievements that you were able to have.
I had a video about my girlfriend that was huge because, like, I used that format. A lot of those things came from other 7 by 7 pieces that I've seen on Instagram, and, um, like, that was, huge. That one, like, I realized my potential when I saw the results of what I made, and I was like, "There's my video made that many, like, made that much traction," and I didn't garner as much followers as I wanted, but I garnered, like, a good amount, and I was just really shocked, and I feel really grateful about it, and when I was when I started, I only had, like, 2,500, but then, like, I think over the few months I had or over the 1 month, I think I gained, like, 400 to 500 followers, which is huge.
That is huge.
I was, like, not expecting it, but I was just so happy about it, and I think for me, I think that was my biggest achievement this cohort, so, yeah.
I mean, you just increased about 125, 120% in terms of your following. That's ginormous for a creator at your stage and laying the foundations the right way. And I want everyone, and hopefully we have a link to it, the video that you posted about your girlfriend, the way that it was done was so exceptionally well done in regards to the cadence, the format, the ability to lean into pain. How do you reach a wider demographic with the current experiences that you're going through? You nailed a lot of those things down, which is incredible because when you lay the foundations the right way, when your time comes, and I know I've said that a million times during the VIP coaching, but I truly believe that content creation is about your strategy, but also combined with a level of luck. Now, you can't control the luck aspect, but you can combine it with the strategy, and you're building the foundation the right way, the right strategy involved. So if anyone goes onto your page, they know what you're about, they know exactly your format and your style of editing choice, they know the fact that you are somebody that is a student that's going through these problems, you're doing the journey POV, you've done such a good job establishing that. So when one of those videos go more even viral in the future, the ability for those to convert higher is there. And it's so awesome. I mean, 120% increase in following is crazy for a 4 week duration. But I also love what you said when you said you realized your potential of when you saw the results of a piece of content for the very first time, you're probably looking at it and you're like, wait, I too can have that type of viewership and I too can have that type of traction, even as a student. It is absolutely incredible. Take me through that emotion. Take me through basically before when you were just doing this kind of sporadically or randomly, you're just posting content just to post it versus now when you had direction and then something started to have traction. What was the difference in emotion before and then when you start to see the success? How are you feeling as a creator?
I think the biggest feelings that I got when I was able to garner this traction, I think first initially I was not expecting, like, my viewership to pop up like that because I thought my videos were, like, I guess, comparable. Because I think I'm someone who compares myself a lot, so I thought I was just, like, another video, but then seeing that, like, again, seeing that something that I made was able to get so much back. It's not even like that I was able to, like, do stuff for other people. It was also because I felt a lot of love from, like, other people. I don't know if you saw in the video, but on the comments on both Instagram and TikTok were, like, 300 plus, and I was like, "There's this many people who are willing to comment on my video and to just spread positivity." It was just so nice, and, like, seeing that, like, really motivated me to want to do more, and especially, like, even though the smaller things, like, when people would reach out to me after that video and, like, from my other videos and be like, "Hey, like, your content is really helping me," and people my friends even, they're like, "Hey, like, Caleb, I've been seeing your content has been actually helping me, like, day to day," and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." But that kind of confidence and that kind of, like, positivity wasn't present or not as often as it was until after the program, so I was very, very happy about, the growth.
You mentioned something that was my follow-up question. I'm so happy that you actually touched on it already. But I always have viewed content creation as something much bigger than a number, much bigger than the audience that you've grown. Obviously, 120, 125% increase is absolutely insane as a creator at your stage. But more than that, that type of commentary that you're getting, that type of DM that you're getting, that type of reaction that you're getting from your friend, it is really difficult to actually verbalize how important that is as a human. As in, when I was before creating content, I lacked a lot of confidence where, you're often overlooked. You're often going through different experiences as a student. You're trying to play this catch up game. You're always trying to be a better student. You're always trying to make a better impression on people. And there's like a lack of confidence that's associated with it because you feel like you're not good enough. But there's something different when you are creating content that's inherently completely yours, as in it's your thoughts, it's your feelings, and then you're expressing your experience in a piece of content. So when you get 200 plus people to comment on a video of yours, how you feel is really difficult to actually try to verbalize. And that's what makes it addicting. It's the thought of, wow, I can actually make an impact here. It's much more beyond, hey, let me get to 100,000 followers or 20,000 followers, where people come into content creation thinking that. But the moment you start receiving a DM from someone saying, you've completely changed my day, you've completely been helping me the last few videos that you've posted, changes your entire perspective. So I love the way that you use the word confidence there and how it's helped derive it, because it was the exact same process for me. When you are looking back and you're thinking, okay, so now with this foundation that I've built with the VIP coaching experience, and you are now understanding the various formats, you understood 7x7 and the creator vision, and you're also looking at all the various strategies that we've gone over throughout the next, or let's say the last 4 weeks. I'm curious, how does that make you feel about this next trajectory? As in, a lot of what we hope to do is equip you guys with the right tools where it doesn't have to be a successful 4 week period, but hopefully a successful 4 years for you, where you can start to continuously iterate upon your content. You have the confidence to do that for yourself. So, how are you feeling now that the VIP coaching experience is over? Do you feel more confident moving forward as a creator?
So now that the VIP cohort's done, I think I have a lot of confidence. I said it before in the call. I actually watched the Creator College like videos about like our last call, and I was like, oh damn, I said that. I was like, oh, I'm actually not surprised because I feel like so much better now that the cohort's done, and that now that I have the materials, especially the fact that I have the materials and resources lifetime. It's like I'm always gonna be looking back at it because you guys provided so much, and there's always something I can learn from it. Just as like an emerging creator, I know that I'm going to like transcend into. I just have the confidence that I'm going to get to higher places. Like right now, I think I'm at like oh, I just hit 3,000 followers, which is huge. Um,
That's awesome. Why did you say that? That's
I
incredible.
know I just hit 3,000 followers like the other day, and
That's amazing.
yeah, now I feel like that I have so much confidence that it's gonna just keep growing and growing. Like the rate that I'm going at is very steady, but like I remember you saying that like even like steady rate of following is good following because I'm building the right audience, and I know that the right people are coming around. And I think when I was starting the cohort, that was what my goal was, and I think that I have the confidence that the right people will come around to my account. The people who need to hear my voice will find me, and I know that they're out there. It's just like a matter of trying to find them, and I think it's gonna happen because of the results of the cohort. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it is so funny whenever you guys tell me about slow and steady growth. I understand it's comparable to what the other some of the students may have had in terms of the skyrocket growth. But I look back on my own experience, and if I had a 120% increase, 125% increase in a 4 week span, I would have been so elated because I had a really hard time garnering that initial traction myself. And it's so cool that you guys are now setting the standard for yourself of, you know what, like this is the right type of audience growth. And I know that it is because it's slow and steady. And I know that the people coming in are engaging with my content. It's just cool to hear you change your perspective about content in general. Most beginners would never say something like that. Most beginners are like, oh, I just want to grow quicker, or I want to grow exponentially. I want to have 10,000 followers right out of the gate. They don't understand the work that it entails to build the right audience, because you don't want to be the person that gets to 10,000 followers and feels that they need to start over because you can't monetize at all, or you feel like it's not aligned to you in terms of the content that you're curating. So awesome, awesome job, Caleb. I have a question for you, my final one. If someone was on the fence of joining the VIP coaching program, meaning they've just heard the last 15, 17 minutes that you've spoken, they think Caleb's incredible, but maybe Caleb is an outlier, and maybe Caleb put in a secret amount of work that he's not telling us right now, and maybe it's not for me. And so they're on that fence of, I think it's good for me, but I don't know if the investment is worth it. What would you say to somebody on the fence of joining the VIP coaching program?
I guess if you're on the fence about joining the program, then I think you should definitely consider how much you could actually learn from it, because I was in the same spot where I didn't think I was gonna get too much, but but now, like, looking back at it, it was like I made a really good decision because, um, like, it's just so worth the education, and especially in our world of social media now, you realize that after, like, joining the cohort and going through everything, you realize that there's so much potential for you and that there's so much potential for your message to be out there in the world. And I think it's like the same thing that people like need to hear what you have to say, like no matter where you are. I'm just like a student, and I had so many doubts about myself, like, um, but now it's like I feel the confidence that um one day my message will reach a lot of people, and you can take that first step, like, by joining Creator College and joining the VIP program, because, um, they take you like, those baby steps that you could have been taking without the program, they, like, allow you to, like, they carry you through that because they didn't you don't have to, like, go through all of that because they did it for you, and they're gonna kinda guide you in the right direction. I think that's what I would say to someone joining. Yeah.
Love it. And Caleb, thank you so much for your time. I know that when someone hears you speak, you've always had this authenticity about you ever since the beginning. You never try to create content about something that you're not. And immediately when we talked about the journey POV and expert POV, you just took the journey POV and you ran with it. And in fact, we use your content as an example now of how to successfully do a journey POV because you're so smart with the way that you ascribe content and with your own experience immediately being able to curate content for it. It's like a really big skill that we're so beyond proud that you've developed. Where can they find you on Instagram?
Oh, okay. My if you wanna find me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Caleb with a K dot Del Rosario. I don't know if you can spell it. DELROSARIO. That's my Instagram.
Awesome. And we'll definitely have it in the description box below. But Caleb, thank you so much for your time. We are so beyond happy for you. And I can't wait till you message me. And I bet it's going to be a month and a half. You're gonna be like, June, I hit 10,000 followers. Hey, June, like, guess what just happened? Because you have every single potential to make it really big. And I'm just so appreciative of our time together.